Hey everybody, welcome back to the layout. It's been a while since I got a layout update video, so I figured I'd go ahead and get one going and show you what I've been working on in the last few months. Apologize for the delay getting one out, but just been busy working on some projects around the house, and summer was here. It was hot. My AC failed in the garage, so I had to get a new one, and just took a little break from the layout. Sometimes we get burned out and just not motivated to work on it. But anyway, wanted to welcome everybody back and to another layout update video, and this will be layout update number 21. All right, so since the last layout update video, I've continued working on this scenery and this overpass transition to my helix. You guys can kind of get a idea of what it looks like. I'm not 100% done with it. It's probably about 90% done. I still have to come back and fill these in on both sides, back and the front, once it's done. For now, I'm making it, the bridge I can still take out, the overpass I can still take out. I might leave them that way long term, so that way if I ever need to get in here, I can. But this is just a rough mock-up with vehicles and some construction items, etc. Still got a little bit of scenery to do around the overpasses, and definitely need to get some more vehicles for the overpasses. More rigs and things like that. Seems like right now most of them are just these cars I got off. I forget where I got them, but it's like a batch of 100, and they're almost all identical, just different colors. So, of course, taggers got to the bridge already. The overpasses and underpasses didn't take them long. But you kind of get an idea. That's my transition into my helix. There's my helix, the ugly helix everybody remembers. I'm going to hide that with curtains now that I've got the inside painted. That inner fascia painted. I also painted the rest of the upper level fascia. And as you can see, we got some Norfolk Southerns making their way over the pass. Something you see quite often these days on like the Cajon camera, and heading out to California and back to the East Coast. So yeah, that's the overpass. That's going to be my transition to kind of make my helix not so noticeable. So let me know what y'all think. As you can see, I've also started doing scenery, a lot more scenery on the upper level, a lot more detail. Got all the tracks ballasted. Got some vehicles, and got a lot of small brush and rocks and things like that now that are starting to pop up on the scenery. Still have some areas to do, but you guys can kind of see how it's looking, and obviously a lot more to do. Got some more Bob's trees from Long Shadows Model Trees on the layout. I had a different batch made, had Bob mix some colors for me this last go around, and really like the variation in the colors. I think these were all the ones I had at first, and then now the other ones in the back that have different darker colors. He did some, I think I ordered another 100 of them, and I think he like mixed 3 or 4 different colors, so lots of different colored trees I can put on the layout, but all the same green, just different shades of green to kind of make it look a little more realistic. Still got a lot of trees to plant. Cajon obviously has lots of clumps and batches of trees and areas. It's a lot of work to put them in. I just haven't got to them all yet. But this is, how this upper level scenery is kind of coming along. I'll kind of give you guys a helicopter view. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Got some more of these guys in, and painted, like I said, I think I said I painted all the upper level fascia, whatever was left, and the lower level fascia. So got the blue cut placard in. And moving up from blue cut, haven't done a whole lot of scenery up here yet. I should say a whole lot more. I do little bits and pieces, like you guys I've said before. When I break out the paint to do some areas, I'll come back and touch up other areas and just kind of add a little bit of variation to the colors. That's kind of what I've been doing, adding that and some ground cover, and that's kind of how I do my scenery. That way I don't have the same color all in one spot. And I got a new leased unit on the layout. Love this thing, it sounds awesome. I'll try to get some shots of it running here at the end of this video. Picked up 2 of these. Guy was getting out of the hobby or switching scales, and I was fortunate to get 2 of them from him, both with sound. They sound great. And that's the scenery up to Cajon. So moving up from Cajon, moving east, I decided to actually skip Sullivan's Curve for now, and I started working the kind of like the area between the main 3 east of Cajon Junction up to kind of like the canyon or the Walker area where the 138 will go over. And I tried a different method on this. I tried Cam's method. Cam is Railfan 220, I think. I think that's right. I'll put it in the chat if it's wrong. But he does a paper, like a glue over paper method. I tried it down here instead of the cardboard lattice, and instead of the cardboard lattice, plaster cloth and Sculptamold, and you know, it's pretty neat. I like it. It gives different rock textures. I think when you crinkle the paper, it definitely gives you a lot of different rock textures and hill textures. So a little bit different than what I was doing down here. As you can see, right here is where it changes. So I'll have to kind of maybe throw a little bit of this in over here, and which is just, this is just Sculptamold. And I might throw some Sculptamold in here and there along here just to kind of give it that kind of make it like a better transition. So did put in a couple culverts underneath this line. Figured since it was newer, main 3 was newer, it would probably have some better drainage since it was built a lot later than the other 2 lines. And I've just started to paint and add some ground cover to it. I haven't got too far. Added some rocks too. I actually, this is when I lived in California before I left to come to the East Coast, when I packed up my layout, I actually packed up a big, I forget what it was, a coffee jar of small like pebbles and rocks from the backyard. They're just the tiny ones, but they would look like large rocks on an N-scale layout. So yeah, I've got some authentic California scenery on my California layout. As you can see here, this is just a mock-up for 138. Got some bridges from the same guy getting rid of the locomotives. I was able to buy some bridges from him and overpasses. So I've just been kind of playing around with where I'm going to place the 138, and I think it's going to be more so along here, going kind of that way. And in my last layout video, I did mention I was going to move the main 1 and 2, kind of where the 138 bridge is right there. I was going to bring them this way, kind of where the reversing loop tracks are, and kind of just run it the opposite way. That would definitely make it easier to run the 138 over the Union Pacific track. But that's it really for scenery for the upper level. Like I said, it's been a lot of projects and stuff going on this summer at the house, and then, you know, also kind of got a little burned out for a while there where it just wasn't really in here very much. My AC unit broke in the garage, so I had to get another one. But it's kind of coming along. That's the upper level, and we'll move down to the lower level here in a sec. All right, so on the lower level, not a whole lot. All I've really done here is just, again, I think last time I had this area, these areas between the fascia and the sub road bed framed, and I think I had them maybe plastered, but now I've actually got them, most of them plastered, and some scenery, texture, very basic, and just some basic paint. And then as I end up with leftover paint on some of the other projects, I wash it down here just to kind of give it a look of weather or roads or, you know, spills, whatever, just different variations to the color. Really haven't thought about how I'm gonna detail the yard. If anything, I'll probably just put some basic, I think Arizona Rock makes like some yard ballast. It's like it's just like a dirty dark color that looks like it's you know, in a typical yard for a railroad. And then on the lower level down here, I've kind of started working on the same, filling in between the fascia and the sub road bed, and then coming behind and putting this one I did plaster cloth over. I did this one using the old method with cardboard lattice and plaster cloth, and I'll probably fill it with some either Sculptamold or maybe some spackling compound just to kind of give it a little bit of a I wanted to be a little bit stronger down here, just in case I have any buildings or anything, roads coming through here. I want them to be able to be a little bit stronger than the paper method. Paper is pretty strong, but you can crease it if you put enough pressure on it. And then as you can see, it's starting to make its way along the Union Pacific lines going into the helix. And that's kind of really what I've got done on the layout in the last few months since the last layout update. I'm still debating on what I'm going to do here. So these tracks, these Union Pacific tracks are my represented lines coming out of Colton Yard. Obviously my yard is nowhere near that size, but it's just a representation of it. And so I've been kind of debating on if I should put an industry back here or not, kind of where this back up against the back of that other fascia. I know that there's nothing really there along the that line going from Colton up to the San Bernardino, but yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe putting something in there like a small industry to switch, or maybe like a spur coming off the yard spur here, and it just feeds into that either by the BNSF, or I could run a turnout here and then run like a track along here, have it a little bit lower down, you know, and servicing some type of industry. So let me know what y'all think, suggestions or feedback. I know, like I said, nothing's really in there real time, but you know, it's your layout, make it the way you want and have fun with it, right? So, but that's it so far for the layout update. Again, appreciate you guys always for the comments and feedback and dialing in. Can I give you guys a kind of another last pass just as the scenery? Gotta give you an idea on how it's coming along and what it looks like just doing a 360 around the layout room. All right, That's it. Appreciate you guys dialing in. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.